Welcome to China Uncut. I'm Jennifer Zhang, bringing you frontline insights into China's growing military ambitions. Today, we dive into the CCP's boldest moves yet. A Chinese carrier battle group stirs alarm near Japan's farthest islands. Another carrier, the massive Fujian, stirs up fresh tensions in disputed waters near South Korea. And in London, a high-stakes meeting between the CCP's vice premier and the U.S. Treasury Secretary signals a possible thaw in trade talks. But is it too little, too late? Stay tuned. The pressure in the Pacific is rising fast. For the first time ever, a Chinese aircraft carrier has entered waters near Japan's easternmost island, a move sparking fresh concern in Tokyo and Washington. On Monday, Japan confirmed the Liaoning carrier group sailed east of Iwo Jima, deep into Japan's exclusive economic zone near Minamotorishima, an uninhabited island about 1,900 kilometers southeast of Tokyo, rich in rare metals and of major strategic importance. Japanese government spokesman Yoshimasa Hayashi said Tokyo is on high alert and has deployed the destroyer Haguro to monitor the situation. Fighter jets and helicopters from the Liaoning were seen conducting drills in the region, a clear show of China's expanding blue water naval ambitions. Minamotorishima lies along the second island chain, a strategic line of defense used by the U.S. and allies to contain Chinese naval forces. The incursion is seen as Beijing's attempt to test limits and extend reach beyond the first island chain, which includes Okinawa and Taiwan. Japan's defense ministry says the Chinese carrier group has since left the area, but not before conducting flight operations within Japan's exclusive economic zone. Tokyo called the move unprecedented. This comes amid a surge in Chinese naval activity. Since late May, Japan has tracked over 70 Chinese vessels, including destroyers and Coast Guard ships, operating near Okinawa, Taiwan, and the East China Sea. Security experts warn these maneuvers are part of a growing campaign to project the CCP power into the Western Pacific, especially if a conflict were to erupt over Taiwan. With tensions rising, Japan says it will do everything necessary to maintain maritime and aerial surveillance. China's largest and newest aircraft carrier, Fujian, has conducted its first ever flight drills in the disputed maritime zone near South Korea, raising fresh tensions on the Korean peninsula. Multiple South Korean officials confirmed that the Fujian, which is not yet officially commissioned, carried out carrier-based flight exercises from May 22 to 28 in the Provisional Measures Zone, or PMZ, a contested section of the Yellow Sea jointly managed by China and South Korea since a 2000 agreement. The drills follow China's unilateral announcement of a no-sail zone in the PMZ for military exercises, a move that triggered a formal protest from Seoul. South Korea's foreign ministry said the restrictions went too far and threatened freedom of navigation. Open-source analysts shared satellite images showing the Fujian had left its Shanghai shipyard on May 22nd. It later surfaced in the Yellow Sea following drills in the South China Sea, accompanied by escort ships. While the geography of the PMZ is not ideal for carrier operations, South Korean military sources say Beijing is sending a message. The CCP can act unchallenged in its own backyard. This is the first time a Chinese aircraft carrier has entered the PMZ, and with China increasing its installations and deployments in the area, analysts say it's a clear bid to assert de facto control. The Fujian is China's third and largest aircraft carrier. It uses a conventional power system and is equipped with an electromagnetic catapult system, though analysts caution it still lags far behind America's nuclear-powered USS Gerald R. Ford in real combat capability. How South Korea plans to respond through patrols or counter-drills remains to be seen. But one thing is clear. The CCP's show of force is being closely watched across the region. In a stunning economic development, China's exports to the United States nosedived by 34.5% in May, marking the steepest drop in 5 years, even deeper than during the early days of the COVID-19 outbreak. Official data released Monday by the CCP's General Administration of Customs shows that despite a temporary tariff truce between Washington and Beijing last month, trade tensions are still weighing heavily on the world's second largest economy. The sharp fall in exports to the U.S. is part of a broader slowdown. China's overall exports rose just 4.8% year-on-year in May, lower than both market expectations and the previous month's growth. Imports fell 3.4%, revealing weak domestic demand. Exports to the U.S. fell 34.5%, while imports from the U.S. dropped 18.1%. China's trade surplus with the U.S. shrank over 41%, down to $18 billion. Vice Premier He Lifeng has met U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent in London today to restart stalled trade talks. But experts say even with tariff cuts, the damage may already be done. To offset losses, China has increased exports to ASEAN, the EU, and Africa, up 15%, 12%, and 33% respectively. But they haven't been enough to fill the U.S. gap. Rare earth shipments have nearly halved, and the smartphone exports are down 10%. Domestically, China is grappling with deflation. May's consumer prices dropped 0.1%, while producer prices fell a staggering 3.3%, the sharpest decline in nearly 2 years. Analysts warn that overcapacity, a weakening housing market, and trade uncertainty could keep China in a deflationary spiral through next year, making it increasingly reliant on exports for growth. Today's U.S.-China trade meeting is closely watched, but with both sides still accusing each other of violations, hopes for a long-term solution remain uncertain. For now, all eyes are on London, and the future of the global economy may depend on what's said behind those closed doors. Thanks for watching China Uncut. If you found today's updates eye-opening, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. What do you think the CCP's next move will be? Diplomacy or confrontation? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see you next time with more unfiltered stories from China and beyond.